Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome here as we get ready for our final practice session, happy hour, underway here for the 42 drivers who have qualified for this season's season opener, the Great American Race Daytona 500 in the second season of the Hersheys Cup Series. 42 drivers ended up making the race, either being chartered rides or there was one driver, James McLeod, who's starting the outside of the front row for the Great American Race. He made it in via whole day qualifying, and then 6 other drivers raced their way into the 500 via the 2 Can-Am duels yesterday. So we'll be taking a look, seeing who may have the fastest car on track and who might be one to watch once the green flag waves with the Daytona 500. You see a number of drivers coming off together there off the pit road. Everybody going to get a chance here to be able to fine-tune their race car for the Daytona 500. They undoubtedly had their cars set up maybe for a short run kind of setup for the Can-Am duels. Well, the Daytona 500 is going to be 100 laps long, so they're definitely going to want to tweak it a little bit and try and see what their car's going to be like on a long run in case we get into a long green flag run in our Daytona 500 event. A little bit of sad news reached our ears here in the NNSCRA community, as former driver in the NNSCRA Series Last of Us Light Series, which ran, I believe, during the final season of NNSCRA back in Season 10 for the Oreo Mobile and Snickers Cup Series. There was also the Last of Us Light Series, and the inaugural winner of that series at the Battle of the Beach on Daytona back straightaway, Stuart Gratton. We've just received word that he has closed down his YouTube account, his social media accounts, apparently struggling in real life in school, and so not able to dedicate time to running an NR 2003 series. Many of you may know him as, I believe it was Lime23 was his YouTube account. And Stuart Gratton only took part in one series that I commentated, but he was always there commenting on the races. He was very well aware of when races came up. He watched them. So, you know, it's always very sad when a member of the NR 2003 community has to leave. I mean, it's obviously well understood. There have been times where I've had to put series on hold, or I haven't gotten videos out when I'd like to, because truth of the matter is, this is just a hobby, things that you know, we enjoy doing, but usually it has to take a back seat to real life and the tasks that happen in real life. So we want to wish Stuart Gratton the best here from everyone here at the NNSCRA, and certainly going to miss him. Well-known driver in the NR 2003 community. Brandon Gonzalez, right now running 18th fastest, and he was the first car to come out on track. At the moment, fastest lap laid down is by Rocco Twyman. Now, Twyman is going to be having himself a pretty good starting position for the Daytona 500 too. In that 19 car, he'll be starting off the Great American Race from the inside of row 6 in the 11th position. He is one of 2 drivers out of, I believe it's Bulldog Motorsports. That's going to be, look at here, yep, out of Bulldog Motorsports. Actually, he's going to be one of 3 drivers out of Bulldog Motorsports. That's going to be in the Daytona 500. The team owner, Zach Rogers, just barely missed out on making it. He was running well in the, I believe it was the first Gatorade, or Can-Am duel, I should say, and then just sort of seemed to fade from view after he got caught up in a wreck that took place in that duel. Right behind him is second place fastest Ryan Madden in the 8 out of Sega Motorsports. Ryan Madden will be starting the Daytona 500 from the inside of row 2 because he was the winner of the first Can-Am duel. And there he is, actually coming right up behind the driver he will start behind in the Daytona 500. It'll be the inside rows of 1 and 2, the 10 there of Joshua Michaels and the 8 of Ryan Madden. So Almost thought maybe we might see those two working together a little bit here, kind of figure out how to draft with each other and see if they can work out a strategy to be able to get away from everybody else at the start of this race. They've got Joseph Srigley, who's the only driver to go to a backup car for the 500. He'll be starting in dead last, 42nd, and there's Michael Norman in the 3. Norman will be starting 22nd in the Daytona 500. There is John Arndt, who finished runner-up in the Daytona 500 last season to the 78 at the time, driven by Ryan Acosta. John Arndt is going to be starting 7th for the Great American Race, and right now he is 6th fastest on track. We'll see what AS Motorsports could do, because not only did Arndt finish 2nd, but his teammate Carson Scott, who's also in this field, finished in 3rd place. There was an opportunity there. They almost were able to make it happen. If they had one more lap in last year's Daytona 500, they might have ended up being able to have one of their drivers win that race. JT Bryant right now 40th fastest on track, as the 22 out of Young Motorsports is currently running all by his lonesome. JT is going to be starting off the Daytona 500 from 37th place. His teammates, let's see where they're going to be starting. Dylan Young and Levi McIntyre. Dylan Young's going to be starting in 23rd. Levi McIntyre is going to be starting a couple of rows up ahead of JT Bryant on the inside of row 16 and 31st. There's Dylan Poteet in the 31. Poteet was really strong during pole day qualifying, but wasn't able to close the deal, and then had a okay run, if you will, in the Can-Am Duel, but it shuffled him back to starting off the 500 in the 20th position on the outside of row 10. His teammate James McLeod, though, will have a nice view at the start of the race, starting on the outside of the front row. Dallas McIntosh there in the 16. McIntosh going to be rolling off from the outside of row 12 in the 24th position. He's right now 13th fastest on track, the Cheez-It Ford. Looks like Rocco Twyman's going to get some last-minute tweaks done on his machine. There you see Grayson Acavito leaving pit road. Acavito going to be starting near the tail end of the field in 38th place, but did make the show. And I believe Acavito was actually a non-chartered car that had to race his way in, as I'm looking here. No, he was a chartered machine. Rocco Twyman was the non-chartered car out of Bulldog Motorsports that did make it in. So we're looking right now at our outside pole sitter, rookie James McLeod. And McLeod, I believe, is one of... Let's see, how many rookies have we got? We got 1, 2, 3... I believe there are only 4 rookies that are starting this Great American Race this week. McLeod in the 51, Garrett Sidner in the 88, Joe Rockingham in the 84, and Cole Baker, the only rookie this season with a charter, in the 18. Daniel Voiles in the 26. Voiles going to be starting mid-pack, 26th place, just ahead of him. William Brock in the 15 will be starting all the way back in 40th place in the 15 car for William Brock Motorsports. Brandon Gonzalez has picked up some friends. John Cittadino in the 83. I believe he is the only driver. Let me look just to confirm, but I believe he is the only driver out of Fire Ice Racing that did make the race. Yes, he is. Zachary Stoltz and Marie Minobi, his 2 teammates, did not. And then you got some teammates there with Joanna Atwood Motorsports, the 2 Castrol GTX Chevrolets of Johnny Gardner and James Qualls working together. Gardner will be starting off this race from the inside of the final row in 41st. James Qualls going to be starting a little bit better, as he's going to be starting on the inside of row 9 in 17th place. Zachary Fitzwater there in the 76. Fitzwater starting near the rear of the field, 35th place in his Dodge Dart. There's Levi McIntyre in the 99. We documented him earlier. Trent Dunham going to be rolling off from 12th place. He's had a really strong car this speed weeks, but we know his love for the Daytona 500. just ran his fastest lap, but he's only 25th quickest. Marty Johnson, there's the defending champ. Anthony McCrory, 15th right now on the scoring chart. And now we just dropped from 17th down to 19th as some drivers getting some last-minute laps in. Austin LaPlante leading a couple of teammates there in Kyle Matthews, Charles Sanford, Benjamin Miles in this group, along with Grayson Acavito, and second on the charts, Zach Flickinger in the 01. James Richardson in the 11 trying to catch up, and the session is almost complete. There's Garrett Sidner, one of the 4 rookies in this race. Noah Carr has had a strong machine this week. He'll be rolling off from 9th place in the 500. There's Emmanuel Hartnett. He'll be starting 8th. Rookie Dougie Shears. Actually, that's 5 rookies there then, actually. Dougie Shears there. Going to be the 5th one. And the session's complete. We just got a look at the car that was fastest in our happy hour session. That was the 9 of Ryan Madden. 45.003, almost a 45 flat. That's a fast lap time. Zach Flickinger was second fastest. Rocco Twyman third. Austin LaPlante there in 4th. And Charles Sanford was 5th. Now, this may have absolutely no bearing on where they'll finish in the Daytona 500, but this is what they got for their final setups here. We'll have to see if it's enough to get them a Daytona 500 victory. Thanks everybody so much for watching. Next up on our schedule is the Great American Race Daytona 500 100 laps. Hope you'll tune in for that. We'll see you guys later as you've been watching productions of the NNSCRA, offline racing at its best.